We're making every Pikmin type 1 through 4. And we are starting with 1 blue. Hold on, let me rearrange this. First, we move 3s, purples to D. They barely do anything. And they're okay, but like they can't stomp. They just do items. They just pick up items very slowly. And whites are just wigs that can't fly. First up, we have 1's reds. They have 1.5 damage multiplier, which is very useful in some situations. And also, the more known one is that they have fire resistance. Next is 1's blues. 1's blues are actually really good because have you seen Distant Spring? Water. There's water in Distant Spring. That's my reasoning. And there's so many more treasures. There's so many more treasures that are in the water that you can't get with other types unless you count nudging, but who cares about nudging? Also, yellow should pick 1. They're a solid B. They can use bomb rocks and be thrown higher. The higher throw height doesn't really do much in this game. Like, it's never really utilized as much as it should. And Puffman, they're not even supposed to be your Pikmin, so no. Alright, 2 blues. 2 blues go in B tier, the top B tier right now. And I mean, they don't really do anything. There's some water, and the Summer Castle is really good for them, but they don't really like. It's just there's water, and it forces you to use them, but forcing you to use them does not make it better. It just makes it more annoying. Next up, we have 2 Bowmen. 2 Bowmen go in S because 1, they go in S because they have all elements, but you can't bring them up to cave. You can't bring them up, that's why glow Pikmin are really good because you can bring them in between caves. I'm gonna get to that later. 2 purples. Do I need any reasoning here? Okay, fine, I guess I did need reasoning. They stun, they do like 50 impact damage, and they also do a bunch of damage. They have a 2 times damage multiplier, which is pretty good, which makes Pikmin 2 reds irrelevant. Because I mean, yes, there are fire geysers, but they can be shot by any type in the game. There's pretty much no reasoning to have them. Like, sometimes I bring like 10 into caves in Pikmin 2, but like most of the time I just have like I don't use them a lot. Pikmin 2 is what? Well, these guys are just poison and they can dig up treasure. They're not really useful, but they're also like useful. So I always bring like 10 with me in caves, just in case there's a buried treasure. Like, my treasure radar's going off rapidly, and that sounds very annoying. Can I please get out of the way? Poison is good, but there's only very few enemies that actually use it. So I think it's going 3rd B tier. 2's yellows. Do we know why 2's yellows going? Do we know why 2's yellows going A tier? Because they do. Electricity is insta-kill in Pikmin 2. But Pikmin 3, it's kind of just. I never really had them in 3, but in 2, in the final boss, spoilers. I don't know why I haven't played it yet though. Why did I click this video? In the final boss, they can like reach higher, so that means they're like a lot better because they can reach it more easier. Even the purples are really good for that boss. They don't have enough height. They don't throw high enough. All they go is like whoop. They don't really throw as high, but yellows. I mean, I was saying 1's yellows are. I'll even you here. 3's blues. C. Versus C. Because I mean, you get them solely in the game, and the Climate Water Collapse. You don't even need them for pretty much like the Quaggle Microlops, they're better with wings. I just brought blues in the Quaggle Microlops because I didn't want to go back and get wings. So, Red and Pikmin 3. Reds and Pikmin 3 are actually pretty good. Of course, you get them pretty much first. Yellows don't really count. They're really good because, I mean, they have their attack with fire, and although fire isn't used that much in 3, you can never break them. So that's pretty cool, but like, they don't show much. And Pikmin 3's enemies don't really have a lot of hit points, so they're really good. Next up, we have Rock Pikmin. Actually, yeah, they can smash crystals, which is already like, I mean, no, that's okay. But they can also break, like, let's say there's a crystal on a boss, but I forgot that first boss is called Pikmin 3. They also do a lot of damage. Like, they're really powerful. They are extremely powerful. Since Pikmin 3's enemies are very weak, they just go through everything. Like, if you have a bunch on you, just throw them. You will win. Now, Pikmin 3 wings, they go to A tier too, because, well, although they might not be as good as the rocks, they can, like, anything that's like kind of going out of the water, they can grab it and bring it out, which is really useful because there's like a lot of roots in 3, but like, I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, so they also can fly, which also cheeses a bunch of parts, and they Quaggle Microlops. They can just reach up to enemies and just kill them, and that makes blues irrelevant because they just go over water, which is something that they don't do in 4. 3's yellows. They go in C tier as well because they don't. There's not a lot of electricity in the game, and the height doesn't get used a lot, so they're pretty much just not useful. And whether it's electricity, it's not fatal. They don't die from it, they just get stunned. They don't die. They get up, and then they don't die. That's why I'm putting yellow Pikmin here, but also, they suck. Alright, now 4, they go up here, because they go in here because, well, you can bring them, well, during night missions, they're very useful, because they have that charge thing, and also their designs are very cool, but it has no effect on this. Their designs are cool, but in other night missions with smoky products in them, you can just bomb them with the, I forgot what it's called, the glow something, sphere bomb, I don't know. And they like stun them, kind of like a Mega Rush from Ochi, and they just do really good in combat. They're also immune to every element, just like Wolfman, but they can be brought between caves with Glow Sap. I think I haven't played Pikmin 4 in a while, didn't even. 4's blues actually are really good. Put them above 2's blues, because, well, Doggy Paddle that Ochi has makes them better. That might sound a little bit backwards. Hear me out. Because you can walk in water and like, well, Ochi can't go down to the water, I don't think. He can, but like, you can throw them into the water and you can also get off Ochi so you can rush enemies underwater. And you can just stay up there and not have the risk of getting your Pikmin getting eaten. So that's why I'm putting them here. Oh, Ice Pikmin. See there. Because of course they can freeze lakes, freeze enemies, freeze, I don't know. They also don't, while their attack is low, they still do a lot of damage because, I mean, the enemy is frozen and they can't do anything. And if there's an enemy in the air and it freezes, it just dies. It just cracks open. It also gives you a couple of raw material and nectar. So they're really good if you have like a bunch of deflowered Pikmin. You can just you can just boom. Hit an enemy with some ice Pikmin. You're good. Forest purples, they go in A tier. They go right here because they have their impact damage, which is really good, but they don't have their stun, which makes them a lot more balanced than 2's purples. It's a balance now. They're actually really balanced, but I would still bring them a lot of places where I go. But 2's purples have Doomsday Apparatus, and that makes it very cool. 4's red, they have fire geysers and the exact same as usual. But I mean, they're not that good. A lot of areas don't recommend them, but I mean, they're still good to have, but they're kind of mid. That's what I'm putting them to be. 4's rocks got so nerfed. They got nerfed hard. They still do they still can break crystals, and they still do that. They bounce on an enemy and then light off. I mean, it's still good, but it does like very little damage, so it's not very useful. 4 whites, because 4 whites, they're not very good. They're not very utilized, and because I'm pretty late in the game. These are the last Pikmin that I got in both places. I played it twice. These are the last guys I got. They do poison, and I mean, the guys just go off and on, off and on, off and on. They're not that good. They don't really do much. They just carry treasure back faster. The inventory battles are good, but like, it's fine. 4's wings. 4's wings? When something's like a teeny bit in water, they can't grab it. And also, they just fall you into the water and drown, but they don't drown, they fall back to you. So, I mean, there's C. No, I don't put everything in C. I'll put them in top of C tier. They can still fly to enemies, but there's so many pathfinding issues. Like, sometimes when there's a clear opening that, hey, you could go past this bridge to get the base, you can just go over the water. But nope, they just completely follow the normal route. They can only make one wood. 4 yellows. 4 yellows. I mean, there's electricity, but it's kind of like 3, but they die. They're good. They're not. Their height doesn't really help them together. I mean, there's a bunch of high up treasures, but you can just use any pickle for that. You could just use wings, and sometimes there's a bunch of like ledges that you can go up there. So I mean, they go in C. Alright, thanks for watching the video. Bye.